All right, I think we're good to go. Welcome everybody to the Guild Artist Series featuring Gert, Jean Akerboom. He's got. Did I pronounce that incorrectly?
Perfect.
Oh, awesome! Thank you. So today he's sharing or showcasing a bunch of his work, which are these really cool models. A couple of them are in by the dance floor. You got a robot that's walking in place, and then if you go out in the red carpet near the scoreboard, there's a really cool model animated
Yeah,
above it.
yeah, yeah,
So if you haven't seen
yeah.
those yet,
Let's
definitely
go,
check them
let's
out.
go. Let's go,
And
let's go.
yeah, I'll
Let's
let
go, let's go.
uh,
Go. Let's
Gurjan
go. Yo,
talk
yo.
about his
Let's go.
story. Thanks for joining us.
My story, right from the start, yeah.
Well, I mean, you can introduce yourself, whatever you'd like to tell us.
Yeah, hi everybody, thanks for coming. My name is Gert Akerboom. I'm from Holland. I lived in Rotterdam until uh, '05. Then I graduated, got my BA in fine arts, and moved to Berlin. And I'm still there now. Uh, so yeah.
Awesome.
Um,
So what?
so like continue, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
What got you into this type of art?
Yeah,
Are you
by
having a rap battle?
coincidence, I guess. I was always dabbling a little bit with digital stuff also, but I mainly made drawings and murals and installations and kind of stuff. And then I had a Tumblr account where I put some gifs on. This was about 2 years ago. And then I got an email from Maker's Place if I want to have an account. I mean, you can't imagine that anymore now, but and I was like, "What? What is this?" I didn't really believe it, but I just tried it out, you know. Uh, put some little gifts on online, and I actually sold one, so that was kind of the start.
That's awesome. So they reached out to you.
Yeah,
That's right. You don't really.
yeah, it was really small back then. I mean, when I got my account, and then there were a couple other ones, and then they organized like workshops. I call it Maker's Place NFT School. We had like workshops and contests, uh, learning how to mint stuff, and yeah. I mean, this is 2 years ago, and it was not. There were not so many artists on there yet, so they were just scouting, I guess.
Yeah, that was like the infancy of all of this.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
yeah. And I never thought it would be something that gets so big, you know, and that I would also basically stop doing anything else artistically, just digital art. But feels good, yeah. I have no regrets. I really like it.
That's great. So you have some pieces that are looping on the stream.
Ah, yeah, just one. This is a new one that's also in the show now. I made three new pieces. Um, yeah, kind of. I wasn't even planning on it, but coincidentally, I figured out some things and I had some ideas, and then kind of all came together. I was always very intrigued by Japanese cartoons, and especially those clouds. And I must have tried 100 different ways to recreate that in art, you know, like drawings, and I could never really do it. Like just by coincidence, I watched this tutorial and somebody just explained how to do it real easy. Uh, so I just had to make a couple works that had those clouds in it, and I think I told you it kind of all came together. You know, like I like science fiction, and at the moment, the science fiction from 20 years ago is becoming reality. So it was a
Yes.
good I don't know inspiration to make some pieces. Yeah. So yeah, this is a classic sighting in the forest of little glowing orbs that yeah, that you hear about.
Right. So
The
like,
trees are glitching. That's something that I didn't. Yeah, sorry.
no, I was saying that because a lot of yours is around like extraterrestrial and space, right?
Yeah, I mean, I like science fiction a lot, and I'm also quite into science. You know, I follow that, what all the new discoveries and things they figure out. Um, I don't know. All those works are just combinations of stuff that I am interested in and kind of want to work with. I, I don't even plan for it that much. You know, it's like just sit down and start building something, and then sometimes I can use it. Sometimes parts go in another video. This one I work with Blender, and even though it's pretty advanced, I'm happy that still something happens that you didn't really expect, like happy little accidents, you know, when you're painting like Bob Ross. Those trees they're glitching a little bit. You see it every now and then, and that's something that just happened. I'm not sure what went wrong or right there. Really, I kind of like that. I left it in. I haven't tried to fix it.
Yeah, it's almost tranquil
Yeah,
just to watch.
a little bit, no? You don't have to be scared of those lights in the forest, you know?
I don't know, this robot's a
Yeah.
little creepy.
Yeah, oh, I like creepy too. Don't even, it just happens sometimes, or most of the time, let's just say, yeah. Yeah, and also maybe it's good to say that all my pieces are loops, you know, so I really like that it's it also came about because of the upload limits, you know, or when you're minting something. I think Maker's Place has a maximum of 150 MB now, which is really high. But before I could only do like 50, and I hate it when something is moving so nicely and then it just stops and starts over.
Right.
So it became kind of my goal to only make videos that basically are very short, but you can watch them for a very long time because they don't stop. You know, they just keep on continuing forever, like a little piece of uh, time separated from the rest.
Yeah, kind of
Yeah,
catching a moment in time.
yeah, and also yeah, it's been it's quite a challenge. You know, I like also when things are not so easy to make and looping all those stuff. You know, particle systems and those clouds and that to figure that out was is always been quite hard but enjoyable. Yeah. Shall I just click on the other one, or
Sure.
I'm just gonna do it? Ooh. Oh,
All right.
is it going? No. Yeah. No, it's going.
Can you guys see it?
There's my toolbar in the bottom. I'm not sure what's going on there, but
For me, it's still loading, but I'll give it a little bit more time.
oh,
Oh, it's actually showing in world right now. It's like the saucer
so yeah,
with the smoke.
sort of flying saucer. Yeah.
That's cool.
Is it loaded? Can people see it or?
You might want to try to reload it, maybe.
Yeah, it's so weird. It says I have two screens on. I'm not sure what's going on.
Oh.
Is it going now or?
Yes, I see one. GLHF, is it coming in for you yet?
I can see it in world, but I don't see it. Oh, there it is. Just loaded. Yep.
Yeah.
Nice. Looks good, man.
Thank you. Yeah. And then there's one piece that's called, ironically, the weather balloon. Doesn't really look like one, but when an alien spaceship crashes, it's always a weather balloon, no?
Right?
Is it going now? Now it should go, yeah?
Actually, the weather balloon is now on in world, but I don't see it on your screen.
Much better to see it in real life over there.
Yeah, it is a cool one though. Oh, so it is a spaceship. I didn't even like.
No, it's a weather balloon.
Oh, it looks like it. Oh, okay.
No, it's a joke, yeah.
Right.
Kind of spaceship. Yeah, that was so fun to make. The flames and the clouds and stuff.
So you say you build this in Blender, or is it like a couple different tools?
No, I never leave Blender actually. It's so great. The only thing I have is Photoshop that I use every now and then, because in Blender the image editor is not like Photoshop, but for the rest, it has a great video editor and 2D animation and everything. Basically, there's a section that is like After Effects. Yeah, you never have to leave when you're in there working.
That's impressive.
Yeah, I heard you talk to Sam before that you tried to get into it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't have the time right now to, commit to really learning it. So it was like a couple quick tutorials and then trying to jump in, and it didn't work out so well.
Yeah, I thought it was quite intimidating. I think I installed and then deinstalled it at least 5 times before I finally, had the courage to start learning all that stuff.
Well, it did give me an appreciation for everything that's out there.
Yeah. Maybe you should try again. It looks quite intimidating, but it's mainly because you can see all the different things that it does at the same time, but you don't have to know all that stuff. You only have to know the buttons that you want to use.
Yeah, I guess that's what I need to figure out. What buttons I need.
Yeah.
This is really cool.
Yeah. So.
It's a much different style than I've seen come through, which is nice.
I don't really have a style, I think. I like to do all kinds of different stuff, but these three are all a little bit the same style, yeah.
Yeah, and then between the robot and, I don't know, is that like a space station?
I don't know actually what it is. Just the comm relay. It's like a communications system, like in Star Trek. No, in Star Wars. Sorry, for all the fans out there. Yeah, so before I used to work in Sketchup, which I basically learned because how to use, because I was also doing some woodworking, and I thought working in a 3D program would be really nice to to show some things to clients before I actually have to go and buy the materials. maybe I'll show that because I I did some stuff in SketchUp that yeah, no, I took it to the max, and then it was really time to learn Blender. I pushed it as far as I could. This one is.
Oh,
Can you
that's
see
cool.
that?
Yeah.
I didn't realize it at the time, but like I had SketchUp, which is not made for something like this, and then I had like two plugins. One was like a real-time renderer, it's a very small one, like the Eevee renderer in Blender, and the other one was basically sort of an animation keyframe set. But those two plugins, they really didn't like each other, so it was so super frustrating to build stuff here, to make something like this in SketchUp. This one is also. Oh, that's not a video. All right, this one also came from there.
Oh, that's cool.
The sketch. Yeah, they look so weird, you know. Like for me, they look like they're made with a tool that wasn't really meant to produce stuff like that now.
Right.
But it was quite fun. And I think this one is also from SketchUp.
Oh, that's cool. So where do you get inspiration for these? Is it just kind of just let your
Uh,
creative mind
yeah,
go?
I mean, I guess it's kind of the reason why I become an artist. Like I didn't really know what I want to be or like if I want to be an artist, but I always want to like make drawings and just was kind of important to you know uh, blow off some steam, I guess.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I have these ideas all the time. But they're not really literally ideas, you know. It's more like I have sort of an idea, and it's like a feeling and uh, something that I maybe want to build, and then other things happen, like I don't know, experience something outside or learn a new technique or whatever, and then it just comes together like sort of a collage, you know. Even if it becomes one piece afterwards,
Right.
I don't have a plan like what it should look like when I start working on something, and that's also why there's so many like data on my computer, because there are many files that I just started something, didn't really work, and then just open a new one, you know. Yeah, and then at some point it starts to become something, and then uh, I kind of figure out also what I want from it, and then the fine tuning starts. You know, that also takes quite a lot of time till you have all lighting right and the speed and the animation, and of course when you want it to loop, you know, so the last frame should be the frame before the first frame
Right.
to have it all function well.
It's like
So yeah,
mesmerizing.
it's a lot of sketching, I guess. You know, I just sketch and like put stuff together and try stuff out, and then at some point I come to a level that I think, okay, now this is going to be a piece, and then it just like separated from the rest, and then it's just like, yeah, have to finish it, you know, make it look good. That's a little bit how it works. Yeah.
So how long does a piece like this take to develop?
Uh, it's hard to say. I mean, I have days that I work on 10 pieces a little bit, but if you just say hours, I would guess like 2 days maybe. Like one day of kind of getting the idea ready and be happy with what I think can happen, and then a day of fine tuning. But it's different, you know. Sometimes it goes much faster, but
Right.
sometimes it also takes months. You know, I have a couple that are still not done. I keep coming back to them, but I just yeah, can't get it quite right. Um, Maybe after showing some SketchUp pieces, I'll show the first piece that I made in Blender. I can find it. let's see. Yeah, I think. Oh no, this is the last one. Sorry, this is the last one I did in SketchUp, and then I really couldn't take it any further.
Oh, nice.
I think it looks quite fun. I mean, you see that everything is flat, but still it looks like a forest. Kind of funny.
That's wild.
Oh, and I also couldn't really move the camera in SketchUp, so what I always did is basically build the model so that they can move past the camera while the camera was standing still, which is very stupid, of course, but it was the only way it would work. Yeah. I also always want to like recreate a forest in my art, but drawing trees and stuff like that, it's so hard, and it's not really satisfying because it takes forever to just finish one tree. And so digital art is really nice, and I have the other one was also forest. I really like a forest where you're in the middle and you can look really deep into it, but you can't look through it. So there's trees everywhere you look, but in a different distance. It's and that's something I guess I remember from being a child, which was also always pretty impressive about being in the forest.
Oh yeah.
So and I'll show you the first piece I made in Blender. Like I really didn't know what I was doing. Uh, I imported some models out from SketchUp, and I put them in Blender, and basically went wild with the modifiers. It just let let it rip, and so nice stuff happened.
That's
That I
really
couldn't
cool.
actually recreate now because I'm not sure how I did that. But yeah, it's also good to have to work like that sometimes. When you don't know what you're doing, so many like crazy stuff happens, and you can be so controlled like I sometimes am.
That's wild.
It's what do you call it in America? Agent Orange? Or I mean, I want to do which is stupid. I never do pieces about politics, but I kind of was so amazed and angry with with Trump,
Mm-hmm.
when he was like every time I saw that on TV, the weird stuff. So I thought I just use him to test out this new program that I got, make a new first video.
That's awesome.
He's inflating and deflating. That was the only conceptual kind of thought that I had with that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll stay away from politics.
Yeah. They have no place in art. I actually agree, but
It's
for some
funny.
reason I did it anyway.
Hey, it's part of being an artist. Breaking boundaries. So, so
So
we had
what's next?
we had talked a little bit, and you'd mentioned Gandalf. So
Gandalf. Yeah.
yeah, the
Yeah, Gandalf.
AI artist. Could you just kind of explain that to us a little bit?
Yeah. Um, I'll share a link. So my wife is also an artist, and she says hi. Hi.
Hello.
And when I started to learn Blender, we basically both started to like really do something else than we were doing when Corona came and all the jobs were gone. We just had to stay home, and I started learning Blender, and Hannah learned how to code. She learned Python and went to her first hackathon. And I think when you did the course at the beginning, you created Gandalf, and Gandalf is an AI that creates art basically. Uh, and he lives here in our studio, and he lives in one of our computers. And we're doing a project right now that he's been trained. So you have to train the AI artist. He's been trained with about 500 of my test renders, like stuff that I just render out to see how it looks. And that's what he got. And now he's been going for 3 to 4 weeks, and he makes art from what he learned from the test renders, and every time he has a iteration it's done, then I go in and I select the ones that I think are good, and the ones that could be better I leave out, and then I give them that back, or Hannah gives them that back because I can't really code, and then he starts the next iteration, and he's running for a long time now, and it's really amazing what comes out. I have a couple here. So he has a brain of 128 by 128 pixel. That's what he can do. And yes, stuff like this comes out.
That's so wild.
It's really great, and I at the beginning I was mainly selecting stuff where he made textures that they looked to have depth and not just blocks, because you can kind of see in the image that those are his memory. I don't know how you call it, memory blocks. That's what his brain is made out of, these blocks. And I picked the images where you couldn't see the edges of them, so I kind of teach him that an image shouldn't be just single blocks, but it should be one kind of flowing image. And it's really amazing that he picks up, or I should say it picks up on that, and it gets better and better. Really amazing pieces come out.
That's so wild. So do you plan on integrating that into some of your creations down the road once Gandalf knows a little more? Hello?
Hello?
Hey. Gert, did we lose you?
I think we did, Murph. I can't hear him.
Yeah, I don't either.
So, can I ask you, Murph, was he saying that Gandalf was a artificial intelligence robot painting this?
Yes.
That's so cool.
Yeah, his wife coded it, and then they've been teaching it.
They've been teaching Gandalf how to paint better.
Yeah.
So maybe he's getting better at rainbows. Is this his first rainbow attempt?
Can do
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Huh. Let's see if we can get him back.
Gandalf, yeah, he's keeping straight lines, Gandalf.
It's impressive.
I'll give him that. I wonder where he started or where they want him to go. Like, I mean, at the moment, Gandalf is doing vertical lines from what I can see, but do they want him to get better and do arches or circles? Are they programming that, or did he start out just not even being able to do straight lines? Like that's something that would be, I'd love to find out if and when we get him back.
Yeah, absolutely. Just hang tight, guys. See if I can get a hold of him.
In the meantime, Murph, what if I shared my screen and just showed what's going on at the casino at the moment while we're waiting?
Sure. Go for it.
Do you guys?
Hey.
Hey, that's all right.
Sorry, guys. We have really glitchy internet sometimes.
Oh, no worries.
I'm on my phone right now. Gonna switch back to the computer when it's back up. I think it's going again.
Well, we can hear you loud and clear, so that's good.
Yep.
Okay, so then just ask me a good question when I'm trying to get the computer back up.
That's your chance, Rainbow.
I've got one.
No pressure. No. So how much did you see from Gandalf? Was it all? Or did I?
So the last thing I saw was a picture of, I think, Gandalf attempting to paint a rainbow. I'm not sure, but that was on the left side of the screen. And at the moment, Gandalf was painting straight lines. So,
Right.
and then on the
That's what I
right side, there
before.
was just that black and white.
All right. Yeah. So I was out for a little bit, I guess. I told lots of cool stories about Gandalf. Okay, let me just switch from phone to computer.
You and your wife were much more productive than I was for COVID.
And there I am again.
I should have learned to.
Oh, was
You
you
guys
doing
hear
this
me?
during COVID? Yeah.
Oh man. Well, no. Earlier on, they said they like basically taught themselves to do a lot of this stuff when COVID hit.
Ah, that's it.
I was like, ooh.
Self-learnt coders.
All right. Looks like you're back up. Nope. It's like.
Am I?
Hey.
We can hear you, but off screen.
Ah, man. Technology.
Screen is back. I lost it.
So close.
What's going on?
If it comes up again, what I'll do is I'll screenshot it, and then I can just share it from mine if that works.
Okay.
There we go. Watch stream.
And
It's coming. It's coming. Got it. That's all right. I think it was.
I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on here.
That's all right. I think we caught a glimpse of it, but basically Gandalf was learning how to paint himself,
Yeah.
right? I was wondering, was that Gandalf's first attempt, or is that the theater?
Now you can really. I mean, I'm not the professional, but you can really say first attempt. It's basically, it's a little computer that has different notebooks, so you can train him, and then maybe you want to say something about that, Hannah.
Yeah, I can.
Yes, she knows a little bit more about it.
Hi. We did
Hello.
several experiments with him, and this one you see the outputs from right now started really from random noise, and the whole world of this little creature was the content we showed him. So those, I don't know, I think it was about 1,000 artworks in the end after pre-processing, and I think you also have some kind of hiss. So in the beginning, it's all just snowy and random. And then by watching those pictures we show him, he is trying to find latent structures or patterns within that are not obvious to the human eye.
Right. And how many images did you show Gandalf?
It was about 500. I think.
Test renders. Yeah.
Selection
So
of
he's-
500.
So he's seen 500 images on his own. You've shown it to him, and from those images, he was able to produce this.
That's what you start with, and then you monitor. It's like a little dreaming AI, you can imagine. So he's watching all those pictures, and then just as it is processed in the human brain in a non-conscious manner, the same process happens to him, and then we can shake him and see what he dreamt. And
Wow.
those pictures we have to select
Yeah.
just by artistic intuition, or in the same way you would basically teach a human to produce known artistic position, style, or whatever. So it's always a little bit of a dance between you need to be like really animate him to learn more, but also you want to motivate him right? So
Yeah.
it's always a little bit experimental, and you try out how he reacts to different feedbacks. But
Yeah.
the basic process is that you just select from his output and put it back into his box of input pictures.
Yeah, so his input also increases all the time.
Yeah.
Every time
And how,
is an iteration, and then we select, put it back, so he has more input, and then the whole process starts over of dreaming. So there's
so
more
he's
information. Yeah,
so you show him the pictures that he created, and he
yeah.
learns from the pictures that he created.
It's a process of creating and then being judged and getting the
Right.
good ones back, and then adding that to the whole of my
Wow.
information. Yeah.
That's great. I'd love to see this, like after maybe 100 cycles of him getting his own inputs. You know, what's he going to produce? Yes.
Yeah, but it's very direct.
Yeah, criticizes himself or Gandalf oneself. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Critical of oneself. Yeah.
Yeah. But he also doesn't know any better. I think that's just how it works, you know.
Yeah, this whole world is normal for him.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's great.
Yeah.
Because
I'll share a
when I
link,
look at this image, like it feels like maybe he's seen a lot of like restaurants. To me, they look like pot jars in the left corner over there,
yeah?
kind of put up into green. That's what it looks like to me. I don't know. It might look like
No,
a
but
post
yeah.
and there's plants growing from it. I don't know. So, but that's all dependent on the images that Gandalf saw beforehand, right? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's all abstract, but we like when we look at them and we select some, it's always, oh, look at there's a unicorn, and
Yeah.
you know, look at that tree, that looks amazing. But so I try to select them, you know, when I like when stuff looks real, when there's depth, and also in this one, you know, there's like fog and stuff is sharp and not sharp. Those are really important, because when you select them, even if it's only a tiny part of the information that he will use to make the next one, it's still there extra, you know, on top of the rest. And
Yeah.
I'm really curious to see what's you know, how this will develop in a couple months and stuff.
Yeah, me too. I mean, because I'm human, I think I look at this and it looks like the rivers, right? Kind of coming down like a waterfall
Yeah.
fountain, and then you've got the shore on the right, and that's the plants. But I don't know if Gandalf meant that.
No,
But
well,
certainly as a human, that's what I see.
we don't know.
No, of course not. I mean, he doesn't know any of those words.
I like to think he
His whole
can.
world is just pixels, you know?
Yeah.
And those pixels are just arranged in a certain way so that those color values you got show some patterns that are not human-made patterns, that are not precisely what we would imagine.
Yeah.
It could be anything, you know, you don't know. You can't ask him.
Yeah. We also made some videos where the iterations are really, they follow very shortly.
Yeah.
And then, you know, then you can just see the process. I'll put a link where it's
like a time lapse.
Yeah, definitely link any of those examples in the voice channel. That'd be sweet.
Ja.
Das aber von einem anderen Projekt.
Aber hier läuft schon einer. Das Yeah, right, just a second. Where's the voice channel? So here's Hannah's GitHub. You should see one of the videos like running there when you scroll down a tiny bit.
It's just a tiny GIF.
I mean, it's not the best one, but we don't have. They're not all online yet.
You can't play large MP3s.
Gandalf is still learning.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, he's still, or it's still kind of a child, I guess. You know.
Yeah, I mean,
In a
this
way.
was like.
But it's amazing how fast it progresses. You know, every day gets a little bit better, and every day I get a little bit more scared that he will get better than me. You know.
I was gonna say, eventually, do you think Gandalf would be making like 3D models and things like that?
I don't know. I mean, the thing is that he makes great images, but he doesn't understand them. And actually, we can also not understand them, but we're just interpreting stuff that we see in there because we are human, you know.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know. For him to make human art, he also needs to understand a lot more about the world.
Abstract.
Yeah, but yeah, he could be an abstract artist, you know.
Oh, it's really neat.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe he just makes black pictures for a while.
Dark Gandalf.
Yeah.
Gandalf at night.
Yeah, his dark period. I remember that was Gandalf's dark period.
If anyone wanted to have a look at the video that we were talking about before, I'm just sharing screen, and it just looks like that's Gandalf's learning process being visualized. If anyone wants to have a look, but yeah, no, that's cool. It's great.
Yeah, I think I hope I say it right, but he just basically does frame by frame, but we don't always take every frame, you know. And the closer you get them together, the more it basically looks like a video or like something is moving.
Yeah. It definitely looks like he's doing something in the center, and he's building out because it's he's clearly got borders, and he's zooming in on the middle.
It has a very particular thing that it does like to do. You know, there's always a sort of a block or something on the right bottom corner. You know, and then a lot of the times there's that's in the front, and then there's depth. You know, and stuff happens in the background where it also gets fuzzier, and I don't know. It's amazing.
Yeah, it reminds me of the Decentraland heat map that if people have seen, where it's like we see all the individuals and where the most traffic is. So at the moment, right in the middle is where all the new people spawn, because that's the Genesis Plaza, it's called. So that would obviously get a lot of traffic, and then you have these hotspots like Decentral Games for sure is a hotspot, and then there are other, and Wonder Mines is a hotspot, and then there's these other random areas of people having their own little events. But it reminds me of that. It's like a heat map or something.
Yeah, like a time lapse.
Yeah, exactly.
A new artwork is born. A time lapse of a day in Decentraland. Heat map.
It's probably a year.
I was gonna say this might be a little longer right now. But...
This is a population explosion on Decentraland right now.
Even high. That's great. So, does anyone else have any questions? We've kind of just going. I know we have quite a few in the audience. Feel free to jump in.
Yeah, definitely.
So you had said that. All right. So I thought that's so cool that, and I think you missed this 100, but Maker's Place actually approached Gert Jan a couple years ago, and
right,
yeah, it's amazing. And then since then, so you're on what, Foundation, Rarible, Heissen Tunic,
Hickernung.
Okay, yeah, I totally slaughtered that.
Yeah,
OpenSea.
I mean, it's 2 years ago, and there were more people approached by them. You know, it was a very empty site in the beginning still. It was great, you know. They, like I said, they asked us if we want to participate in like sort of workshops and stuff to learn how to mint stuff and make a digital artwork series, you know, because it was good to have series, have editions. It was very different, you know, and I did a couple of drops, and you know, they marked the hell out of it, and it was really cool. And then it got so big, you know, and I mean, I don't blame them, but at some point it was they couldn't do that anymore, you know, like be so personal and answer an email like right away and stuff. yeah, I mean that's just how it goes, and it's fine also. But it was really, yeah, it was. I'm happy that I was there. In the beginning, it was really fun.
Yeah, that is so cool. So, and what other platforms are you on? Foundation
Um,
too, and then the one
yeah,
account.
for the longest time I only had Maker's Place, but then I thought I'd try something else and got on Wearable, but I've never sold anything there.
Hmm.
And I because I know people in high places in the guild, I got my foundation account. No, no, somebody invited me, but
Very cool.
um,
Connected. He's
your
hooked up.
connections.
Knows people.
It's all about who you know.
And there's those three that I showed in the beginning. They're on foundation, and yeah, it's funny. Like we were working on the GLTF, the droids, and I put them up at Hickapnoon, which I really love. I think it's a really great website, but I feel like it's more for like artists amongst each other. Swapping stuff and buying editions from each other, which is I think really cool. I just minted those droids there, and then I right after I got an email from Foundation that they implemented the GLT possibilities there, that you could mint them there too. So because I kind of want to have all of the pieces in one place, but oh well, that's how it goes. Yeah.
Yeah, and I can drop the links you provided in the voice channel as well. That's,
Yeah, maybe we should talk a little bit about how awesome the guild is.
yeah, I
How
was gonna
about
say,
that?
how long have you? When did you join the guild? And
So how awesome!
that's funny. I was actually gonna ask you
Giggled.
about the guild.
um, yeah, I was basically sitting at home behind my computer and being an NFT artist all by myself, and it was okay, but wasn't so much fun. And then Rutger approached me if I want to come and like we talked before. I think he bought one of my pieces on Maker's Place, and then we had a little chat in Dutch because we're both from Holland. And at some point, he asked me to if I want to join. A group of artists that made collaborative pieces. Yeah, I never heard of that before, and I didn't really know what to think of it. But yeah, it really changed my life. It's so like just besides making those pieces, it's really great to have a nice community. Of people that all focus on their own stuff, and at the same time the stuff of the group. To I don't know, kind of speed up the process a little bit, and we share technical stuff. Also, there's a lot of scamming going on at the moment, so it's also really good that we all share when we get scammed, and we hope that it prevents other people from getting scammed in the future. Because
Yeah, I
yeah,
saw
it's
you
really
posted
going
something
crazy
about
now,
that
yeah.
earlier.
Huh?
So you're having an issue with that right now, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you've been an artist or in crypto for a while, then you learn how to recognize them. The funny thing is I've never seen one that has had no English grammar mistakes. They always have such weird mistakes in them. But
And
I
weird
mean, if
email
you're
addresses.
yeah, but some of them are pretty crafty, and if you're new to the place, it's quite easy to lose all your hard-earned ether to something like that, which is really shit, of course. Um, I just got an email. No, was it on Instagram? Somebody asked me if I want to pay. I think it was $900 to get one of my NFTs playing on a billboard in New York, in the one of New York's big squares, And I was like, what? Well, first of all, no way I'm gonna pay that kind of money for something like that. And second of all, it was really fishy because they were saying that they were working with all these like impressive people, but there were no links. There was nothing to prove it. And so, I mean, I I always like to, if I get emails like that, I like to mess with people, a little bit because they're trying to mess with me. So I wrote something like, "Oh, that's a great opportunity. Thank you so much. You can count me out, like as if it was a typo. And then they wrote me back. It's like, oh, you probably meant you can count me in, right? It was a typo. I was like, no, dude. And then I just wrote all the things that I thought were not okay, and because I always also try to figure out what they want to do, because they have to have some way of scamming. And for this one, it seemed like they just want to, Photoshop my NFT in a live stream of that square, and then say, look, it was there for 1 minute. Now let's have those $900, And I wrote that, and then they got really like, oh, you're so childish, and we don't want to talk to you anymore. Don't worry, you're not invited to the project anymore. And
Like, oh man.
yeah, it was so, I don't know. And then, I looked online actually yesterday, but there's nothing. So I think it was just somebody that had an idea on their own, and just tried it here and there. Yeah.
People must be
Scary.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, scams work, right? So if they work,
yeah, I mean, even within the guild, last 2 weeks, I think there were 2 guys that got their wallet ripped.
Ooh.
2 people in there. So yeah, I actually just got my hardware wallet delivered. I haven't hooked it up yet, but that's gonna happen tomorrow. Sorry. I already have the hardware wallet.
It's already up. He's super secure.
Yeah, no need. No try.
Yeah.
Just between us.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I trust you guys.
You just scanned off with that information.
Oh man.
No, I mean, I always wonder how that works. Sorry?
I'm sorry?
What did you say, Alisa? Yeah. Yeah. We had a bit of a glitch before when I put my models in. When they put my models in there, then the machines didn't work, or like I was like, oh, maybe all that cash lands in my little wallet that's connected to the machine, to the droid.
Yeah.
That would have been fun, though.
It would have been. No, it's funny, isn't it? The whole greed thing, scams. I mean, we're all human. We all like. I mean, there's a component of it in all of us, right?
Oh,
So
yeah. It's playing on
Yeah.
your
something that happens.
emotions
Some people.
Yep.
Yeah.
It must work also a lot, because otherwise there wouldn't be so many people like doing that.
Yeah, it does. I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
I was in Bitcoin ATMs for a while, and people would go and send thousands of dollars to prevent their social security number from being frozen, and just crazy accusations that isn't even a real thing. People did it. I mean, we stopped a lot of it, but it just opened my eyes to there's once people get you emotional, people aren't thinking straight.
Yeah, but that's what they're doing, especially when these artists are like a little bit younger and they're just starting. And when you get an email with an opportunity like that, first, I remember for myself, first thing you think is like, what? That's fucking awesome. I so want to do it.
I can't believe it.
Yeah.
What an opportunity.
It's so mean, like, yeah.
Yeah.
People are brutal.
Yeah.
Because I know it's definitely emotional, as an artist, you definitely always want every day an email with a great opportunity in it. That's kind of what super important.
We grow from it. We get scammed. Hopefully it only happens once, and then you kind of learn from it and won't happen again.
Or so
I fell for one way early. At least
no time would even be better.
No.
It was like $100, so I was like, ugh.
What did you do? Send one ETH, get 2 ETH back.
I'm not
Still,
talking about it. Oh man! Wow. Okay. Well, we have 3 minutes left, so I wanted to.
3 minutes?
Yeah.
Already?
Flying by.
Let me just. If anybody goes to the casino, I thought it was quite fun, but you can just walk right into the robot and look at it from the inside. It looks pretty cool. Yeah. That's something you should try.
I got that open right now.
Yeah, if you go in first person,
it does look cool.
It is just so
yeah.
cool. Seems like
I might be in here for an hour.
Yeah, this has been awesome. Really like your work. It's so cool.
Thanks. So let me just, for everybody that's still there, I have one piece that I've been working on for a long time. It's almost done. Nobody has seen it before. Actually, I have two, and I'll just share them in the stream. There's a little bit of
exclusive.
Yeah.
exclusive,
Exclusive right here.
Let's see.
Oh.
It actually has sound too.
Wait, so Gandalf did this?
No, that's just me.
This is your piece. This is the master.
Yeah, this is Gandalf in like 21,
This is-
20.
Gandalf has got some work to do to.
Now, don't forget he has a brain of 128 pixels. This is quite a lot more.
That's true. Oh, this is cool, man.
Okay. So this one will be minted somewhere sometime soon, and then I'll show you this one. I hope nobody's recording this.
Oh, that is so cool.
That's fantastic.
Oh my
Right,
god.
even if they are, they don't own it, right? You don't own the NFT.
What?
I'm just saying, even if like, talking about scams, like even
right.
if someone is screenshotting it, they don't own the NFT. They've got to go to YouTube.
No.
Go and
I
buy the
don't think
original.
people get scammed for art. It's always about money.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Wait, I
Unfortunately,
think-
humans.
Wow, that is
Would be kind of
really
cool. I mean,
cool.
I would be okay
This is
with people stealing an artwork from me. Kind of, That I would.
How cool that feels like
Well,
a,
more,
on a
I mean,
plot.
it's kind of fun, and they probably really
It
want
would be
it.
Murph. Yeah.
Man, you should have some land,
Yeah.
like the Central Land doing that. I would walk around
Yeah.
all day.
Yeah, I like where you're going with that, Murph.
Oh man, things blowing up in rainbow colors. All right.
Oh,
Well, I want to give you
Yeah.
the last opportunity to get a question in if you have one.
That'd be awesome with Halloween coming up, maybe.
Yeah.
even at the casino, we've got a moat going around the casino. Like, imagine that, walking around, looking at that. That'd be great.
Yeah.
All right.
A moat around the building.
So, is any last announcements, words, anything you would like to say? As our spotlight.
I'm good. That's it.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thanks everybody for coming.
Yeah, this was so cool. I had a really
Thank
good
you.
time.
It was really fun, man. Let's do it again.
Yeah,
We
I was
talked
gonna
about
say.
it already, right? Like next time I fill the whole casino with walking robots
Oh yeah.
just for an hour.
Oh yeah.
Oh, man.
We love robots.
Yeah, anything sci-fi, I think it's gonna be popular. So, all right. Well, thank you all so much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
This has been really cool, and I look forward to seeing more of your work.
Thank you, Murphy, for your hard work
Of course.
putting it all together, and the whole team in the casino, of course, behind the screens, the devs.
Behind the screens, exactly. I like that. All right, guys. Well, we have hip hop night in 2 hours, so join us for that, for some good tunes and some games, and I'll see you guys around. Thank you.
See you later.
Bye.
See ya.
Ciao.